Chapter 9 No Safe Haven. Operations Booth, Police Plaza. Foley was sitting in front of the LP mainframe waiting for the results of his latest search. Extensive laser brushing on the Goblin shuttle had revealed one complete and one partial thumbprint. The complete print was his own, easily explicable, as Foley personally inspected all retired shovel parts. The partial print could well belong to their trader. Not enough to identify the ferry who'd been running LP Tech-9 to the Ball Cal, but certainly enough to eliminate the innocent. Cross-referenced the remaining names with everybody who has shuttle part access, and the list got considerably shorter. Foley twitched his tail contentedly. Genius. No point in being humble about it. At the moment, the computer was crunching through personnel files with the partial print. All Foley could do was twiddle his thumbs and wait for contact with the surface team. The microphones were still up. Very unusual. Unusual and coincidental. Foley's suspicious train of thought was interrupted by a familiar voice. Search complete, said the computer, in Foley's own tones. Outlet of vanity. 346 eliminated. 40 possible remaining. 40. Not bad. They could easily be interviewed. Another opportunity to use their rigid major. But there was another way to narrow the field. Computer, cross-reference possibles with Level 3 clearance personnel. Level 3 clearance would include everybody with access to recycling smashers. Referencing. Kuchin knocked on the booth security glass. Now, technically Kuchin shouldn't be allowed in knobs, but Foley buzzed him through. He could never resist having a crack at the ex-commander. Kuchin had been demoted to lieutenant following a disaster to the police route as recon head honcho. If it hadn't been for his family's considerable political clout, he would have been booted out the force altogether. All in all, he might have been better off in some other line of work. At least he wouldn't have had to suffer for his constant teasing. I have some e-phones for you to initial, said the lieutenant's funny eye contact. No problem, Commander, shouted the Centaur. How's the plotting going? Any revolutions planned for this afternoon? Just some forms, please, said Kuchin, holding out a digipen. His hand was shaking. Amazing, thought Foley. This broken down shell of an elf was once an LP's fast track. No, but seriously, Kuchin, you're doing a great job on the front-ending thing. Kuchin's eyes narrowed in suspicion. Thank you, sir. A grin tugged at the corner of Foley's mouth. You're welcome. No need to get his wild head. Kuchin's hand flew to his misshapen forehead. Still a touchy of the old vanity left. Oops. Sore subject. Sorry about that. There was a spark in the corner of Kuchin's eye. A spark that should have phoned Foley. But he was distracted by a beep from the computer. List complete. Excuse me for a moment, Commander. Important business. Computer stuff. You wouldn't understand it. Foley turned to the plasma screen. The lieutenant would just have to wait for his signature. It was probably just an order shot for Sharp's enemy. The pen dropped. A big pen with a clang louder than the dwarf's underpants hitting a wall. Shuttle parts. An inside job. Someone with a grudge to settle. A line of sweat filled each groove and Foley's forehead. It was so obvious. He looked at the plus screen for confirmation of what he already knew. There were only two names. The first, Bob Arbles, could be eliminated immediately. The chief officer had been killed in a car diving accident. The second name posed gently. Lieutenant Briar Kujian, demoted to recycling crew around the time Hal retired as Starboard Booster. It all fit. Foley knew that if he didn't acknowledge the merge in 10 seconds, the career would read the name aloud. He casually punched the delete button. You know, Briar, he croaked, all those jobs about your head problem. It's all in fun. My way of being sympathetic. Actually, I have some ointment, something called a petac press against the back of Centaur's head. Foley had seen too many action movies not to know what it was. Save your ointment, donkey boy, said Kuja's voice in his ear. I have a feeling you'll be developing some head problems of your own. The mega chemical train, northern Russia. The first thing Artemis felt was a rhythmical knocking, jarring along the left of his spine. I might have spawned Black Rock, he thought. Irina's massaging my back. Just what my sister needs, especially after all the horsepower on that train. The train! Obviously, they were still aboard the mega train. The jerky motion was actually the carriage jolting over the train tracks. Artemis forced his eyes open, expecting gargantuan doses of stiffness and pain, but instead he realized he felt fine. More than fine. Great. In fact, It must be magic. Holly must have healed his various cuts and bruises while he was unconscious. Nobody else was feeling quite so chipper, especially Captain Short, who was still unconscious. Root was draping a large coat over his fallen officer. "Oh, you're awake, are you?" he said, without so much as a glance at Artemis. "I don't know how you can sleep after all you've done. After all you've just done." "Done? But I saved you. At least I helped." "You helped, all right, Fowl. You helped yourself to allow the Holly's magic while she was unconscious." Artemis groaned. It must have happened when they fell. Somehow her magic had been diverted. "I see what must have happened. It wasn't—" Root raised a warning finger. "Don't say it. The great Artemis Fowl doesn't do anything by accident." Artemis fought against the train's motion, climbing toward his knees. "It can't be anything serious. Just exhaustion, surely." And suddenly Root's leg was an inch from his own. His complexion rose enough to generate heat. "Nothing serious!" spluttered the commander, barely able to get the words out past his rage. "Nothing serious! She lost her trigger finger. The door cut it clean enough. Her career is over. And because of you, Holly barely had enough magic to stop the bleeding. She's drained her power now. Empty." "She lost a finger?" echoed Artemis numbly. Not lost exactly," said the commander, waving the severe digit. "It poked me in the eye on the way past." His eye was already beginning to blacken. "If we go back now, sure your surgeon can graft it on?" Root shook his head. "If we could go back now. I have a feeling that the situation underground is a lot different than when we left. If the Goblin Senate hit team don't get us, you could bet something big is going on underground." Artemis was shocked. Holly had saved all their lives, and this was how he had repaid her. While it was true that he was not directly to blame for the injury, it had been inflicted while trying to save his father. There was a debt to be paid her. "How long?" he snapped. "What? How long ago did it happen?" "I don't know. A minute." "Then there's still time." The commander sat up. "Time for what?" "We can still save the finger." Root rode the web of fresh scar tissue on his shoulder, a reminder of a trip along the side of the train. "With what? I better have enough power left for the mesmer." Adams closed his eyes, concentrating. "What about the ritual?" "There must be a way." All the people's magic came from the earth. In order to top out their powers, they had to periodically complete the ritual. "How can we complete the ritual here?" Artemis racked his brain. He had committed large sections of the fairy book in memory in preparation for the previous year's kidnapping operation. "From the earth thy power flows, given through courtesy, so thanks are owed. Plucked out thy magic seed, where full moon, ancient oak, and twisted water meet, and bury it far from where it was found, so return your gift into the ground." He scrambled across the floor and began patting down Charlie's jumpsuit. Ruth's heart nearly shut down then and there. "In heaven's name, my boy, what are you doing?" Adams didn't even look up. Last year, Holly escaped because she had an acorn. Through some miracle, the commander managed to restrain himself. 5 seconds, Fowl. Talk fast. And also like Holly wouldn't forget something like that. "I've been willing to bet," Ruth sighed. "It's a good idea, my boy. But the acorns had to be freshly picked. If it hadn't been for the time stuff, that seed might have worked. You've got a couple of days, tops. I know Foley and Holly put together some proposal for a sealed acorn unit, but the council rejected it. Hearsay, apparently." It was a long speech for the commander. He wasn't used to explaining himself, but part of him was hoping. Maybe, just maybe, Holly had never been the first to have bending a few rules. Artemis unzipped Captain Short's tunic. There were 2 tiny eyes on the gold chain on her neck. Her covered the book, the fairy Bible. Artemis knew they would compulsively try to touch without Holly's permission. But there was another item, a small plexiglass sphere filled with earth. "That's against regulation," said Root, not sounding too upset. Holly stirred, half emerging from his stupor. "Hey, Commander, what happened to your eye?" Artemis ignored her, cracking the tiny sphere against the carriage floor. Earth and a small acorn tumbled into his palm. Now all we need to do is bury it. The commander slung Holly over his shoulder. Artemis tried not to look at the space where her index finger used to be. "Then it's time to get off the train." Artemis glanced at the Arctic landscape whipping past outside the carriage. Getting off the train wasn't as easy as the commander made it sound. Butler dropped nimbly to the overhead hatch, where he'd been keeping an eye on the Goblin Hit Squad. Now it's 6 years old lumber, commented Artemis dryly. The man servant smiled. Good to see you too, Artemis. Well, what did you see up there? Said Root, interrupting the reunion. Butler placed a hand on his young master's shoulders. They could talk later. The couples are gone. Funny thing, 2 of them dropped low for reconnaissance, and the other one shot them in the back. Root nodded. Power play. Colonels are their own worst enemies. But right now we've got to get off the trade. There's another bin coming up in about half a click, said Butler. That's our best chance. So how do we disembark? Asked Artemis. Butler grinned. Disembark is a pretty gentle term for what I have in mind. Artemis groaned. More running and jumping. Operations booth. Foley's brain was bubbling like a sea slug in a deep fat fire. He still had options, but finding creatures didn't actually shoot him. One shot it and it was all over. Cinders didn't have magic. Not a drop. They go by on brains alone. That and their ability to trump the enemy's underfoot. But Foley had a feeling that Briar wouldn't plug him just yet. Too busy gloating. Hey, Foley, said the lieutenant. Why don't you go for the intercom? See what happens. Foley could guess what would happen. Don't worry, Briar. No sudden moves. Cushing laughed, and he sounded genuinely happy. Briar? First name terms now, is it? You must realize how much trouble you're in. Foley was soon to realize just that. Beyond the tinted glass, LP tags were beavering away trying to track down the mole. Oblivious to the drum being played out not 2 yards away. He could see and hear them, but it was one way surveillance. The center only had himself to blame. He had insisted that the operations booth be constructed to his own paranoid standards. A titanium cube with blast-proof windows. The entire room was wireless, without even a fiber optic cable to connect operations to the outside world. Totally impregnable. Unless, of course, you opened the door to throw a few insults at our enemy. Foley groaned. His mother had always said that his smart mouth would get him into trouble. But all was not lost. He still had a few tricks up his sleeve. A postman's floor, for instance. So, what's this all about, Kujian? Asked the centaur, drawing his hooves off the tiles. And please don't say word domination. Kujian could take a smile. This was his moment. Not immediately. The other elements would suffice for now. But why? Kujian's eyes were tinged with madness. Why? You have the gall to ask me why? I was the council's golden boy. In 50 years I would have been chairman. And then along comes the Artemis Fowl affair. In one short day all my hopes are dashed. I end up deformed and demoted. And it was all because of you, Foley. You went Root. So the only way to get my life back on track is to discredit both of you. You will be blamed for the goblin attacks, and Jules will be dead and dishonored. And as an added bonus, I even get Artemis Fowl. It's as close to perfect as I could have hoped for. Foley snorted. Do you really think he could defeat the LP with a handful of soft-nosed weapons? Defeat the LP? Why would I want to do that? I am a hero of the LP. Or rather, I will be. You will be the villain of this piece. We'll see about that, baboon face, said Foley, activating a switch that sent an infrared signal to receive from the floor. In half a second, a secret membrane of plasma would warm up. Half a second later, a neutrino charge would spread across the plasma jet like wildfire, causing anyone connected to the floor off at least 3 walls. In theory, Cush's giggled delightfully. Don't tell me, your plum tiles aren't working. Foley was flummoxed. Momentarily. Then he lowered his hooves and gingerly pressed another button. This one engaged a voice-activated laser. The centaur held his breath. No plasma tiles, continued Gudgeon, and no voice-activated laser. You really are stupid, Foley. Not that I'm surprised. I always knew you'd be exposed to the donkey you are. The lieutenant settled into a swivel chair, propping his feet on the computer bank. So have you figured it out yet? Foley thought. Who could it be? Who could beat him at his own game? Not Kujian, that was for sure. A techno-fool there ever was one. No, there's only one person with the know-how to deactivate the booth's safety measures. Obo Cowboy, he breathed. Kujian patted his head. That's right. Obo did a little pre-programming during the rope-grading work. And the funny thing is, the cat's a foot of the bill. She even charged for the spy cameras. Even now, the Bulk are preparing to launch their attack on the city. LP weapons and communications are down, and the best thing is that you, or his friend, will be held responsible. After all, you have locked yourself in the operations booth in the middle of a crisis. Nobody will believe it, protested Foley. Oh, yes they will, especially when you disengage the LP security including the DNA cannons, which I won't be doing anytime soon. Pushing toward a matte black remote between his fingers. I'm afraid it's not up to you anymore. Oppo took the little operation apart and wired the whole lot into this little beauty. Foley swallowed. You mean? That's right, said Gujin. Nothing works unless I press the button. He pressed the button, and even if Foley had the reaction of a sprite, he would never had time to draw up all his hoods for the plasma shock plus and right out of specially modified swivel chair. Arctic Circle. Butler instructed everyone to attach themselves to the move belt, one per link. Floating slightly in the buffeting wind, the group maneuvered itself to the carriage doorway like a drunken crab. In simple physics, Artemis told himself, reduced gravity will prevent us being dashed against the Arctic ice. In spite of all his logic, when Rook launched the group at night, Artemis couldn't hold back a single gasp. Later, when he replayed the incident in his mind's eye, Artemis would edit out the breath. The split strain spun them beyond the railway sleepers into a drift. Butler turned off the anti-gravity belt a second before impact. Otherwise, they could have bounced away like men on the moon. Root was forced to detach, scooping handfuls of snow from the surface until his fingers reached the compacted ice below. He heard a click behind his shoulder. Stand back, advised Butler, taking aim with his handgun. Root obliged, shooting his eyes with a forearm. Ice slivers could blind you just as efficiently as 6-inch nails. Butler put a full clip with a 3-inch spread, blasting a shallow hollow into the frozen surface. The sleet strand the already southern group. Root was checking the results before the smoke cleared. They had seconds left before Hall's time ran out. After a certain time, it might be wise to attempt a graft. Even if they could. The commander jumped into the dip, sweeping aside layers of light loose ice. There was a disk of brown among the white. Yes, he crowed. Earth! Butler lowered Holly's twitching form into the hole. She seemed like a doll in his powerful hands, tiny and limp. Root curled Holly's fingers around an illegal acorn, thrusting her left hand deep in the shattered soil. He pulled a roll of tape from his belt, crudely securing the finger to roughly its original position. The elf and two humans gathered around and waited. It might take, muttered Root nervously. This seared acorn thing is new. Never been tested. Following his ideas. But they usually work. They usually do. Arms laid a hand on his shoulder. It was all he could think to do. Giving cover was not one of his strong points. 5 seconds. 10. Nothing. Then, look, cried Artemis. A spark. A solitary blue spark traveled lazily along the length of Holly's arm, winding along the veins. It crossed her chest, climbed her pointed chin, and sank into the flesh right between the eyes. Stand back, advised Root. I saw too many healing tools in one night. Damn near destroyed an entire shell port. I've never even heard of a 4-minuter. He backpedaled to the lip of the crater, and not a moment too soon. More sparks erupted from the earth, targeting Holly's hand as the area most in need of assistance. They sank into her fingers like plasma torpedoes, melting the plastic tape. Holly shot upright, arms swinging like a puppet. Her legs began to jerk, kicking invisible enemies. Then from her vocal cords came a hyper-key that cracked the thinner sheets of ice. Is this normal? Whispered Artemis, as though Holly could hear. I think so, answered the commander. The brain is running a systems check. It's not like fixing cuts and bruises, if you know what I mean. Every point in Holly's body started to steam, venting trace radiation. She thrashed and steamed, sinking in a pool of slush. Not a pretty sight. The water evaporated, shrouding the LP captain in mist. Only her left hand was visible, fingers a desperate blur. Holly suddenly stopped moving. Her hand froze, then dropped through the mist. The Arctic night rushed in to reclaim the silence. They inched closer, leaning into the fog. Artemis wanted to see, but he was afraid to look. Butler took a breath, patting aside sheets of mist. All was quiet below, but he was afraid to look. Wait a minute. Holly's frame lay still as a grave. Artemis peered at the shape in the hole. I think she's awake. It was cut short by Casatro's sudden return to consciousness. She bolted upright, icicles coating her eyelashes and auburn hair. Her chest ballooned as she swallowed huge gulps of air. Artemis scratched her shoulders, for once abandoning his shell of icy composure. Holly, Holly, speak to me. Your finger. Is it okay? Holly wiggled her fingers, then curled them into a fist. I think so, she said, and wiped Artemis right between the eyes. The surprise boy landed in his nostril for the third time that day. Holly winked at an amazed butler. Now we're even, she said. Commander Root didn't have many treasured memories. But in future days, when things were at their grimmest, he would conjure up this moment and have a quiet chuckle. Operation Spoof. Father woke up sore, which was unusual for him. He couldn't even remember the last time he experienced actual pain. His feelings had been hurt a few times by Joey's barbed comments, but actual physical discomfort was not something he cared to endure when he could avoid it. Then Sigil was lying on the operations booth floor, tangled in the remains of his office chair. Kujian, he growled, and what followed was about 2 minutes worth of unprintable obscenity. When he had finally finished his anger, the central spring kicked in, and he hauled himself on the plasma tiles. His rump was singed. He was going to have a couple of ball spots on his hindquarters. Very unattractive on a centaur. It was the first thing a prospective maid looked for in the nightclubs. Not that Floyd had ever been much of a dancer. For left hooves. The booth was sealed. Tighter than a gnome's wallet, as the saying went. Floyd typed in his exit code. Foley. Doors. The computer remained silent. He tried verbal. Foley. 121 override. Doors. Not a peep. He was trapped. A prisoner of his own security devices. Even the windows were set to black out, plugging his field to the operations room. Completely locked out and locked in. Nothing worked. Well, that wasn't completely accurate. Everything worked, but his precious computers wouldn't respond to his touch. If Floyd was only too well aware that there was no way out of the booth without access to the mainframe. Floyd plucked the tinfoil hat from his head, crushing it into a ball. Love good you did me, he said, tossing it into the waste recycler. The recycler would analyze the chemical makeup of the item, then divert it to the appropriate tank. A plasma monitor cracked in the light on the wall. Obo Kobold's magnified face appeared, grinning the widest grin the Crusader had ever seen. Hello, Foley. Long time no see. Foley returned the grin, but his wasn't quite as wide. Obo, how nice to see you. How are the folks? Everyone knew how Obo had bankrupted her father. It was a legend in the corporate world. Very well, thanks. Kimo's house is a lovely asylum. Foley decided he would try sincerity. It was a tool he didn't use very often, but there was a first time for everything. Opal, think about what you're doing. Kuching is insane, for pity's sake. Once he has what he wants, he will dispose of you in a heartbeat. The busy shook a perfectly manicured finger. No, Foley, you're wrong. Royer needs me. He really does. He'd be nothing without me and my code. The Sentry looked deep into Opal's eyes. The busy actually believed what she was saying. How could someone so brilliant be so deluded? I know what this is all about, Opal. Oh, you do? Yes, you're still sore because I won the science medal back in university. For a second, Cowboy's composure slipped, and her features didn't seem quite so perfect. That medal's mine, you stupid centaur. My wing design was far superior to your ridiculous iris scam. You won because you were male. And that's the only reason. Foley grinned satisfied. Even with the odds so hugely against him, he hadn't lost the ability to be the most annoying creature in the world when he wanted to be. So what do you want, Opal? Or do you just call to chat about our school days? Opal took a long drink from a crystal glass. I just called, Foley, to let you know I'm watching. So don't try anything. I also want to show you something for security cameras downtown. This is live footage, by the way, and progress with the council right now. Blaming you for it. Happy viewing. Opal's face disappeared to be replaced by a high-angle view of downtown Haven, a tourist district outside Bud's Bud Emporium. Generally, this area would be thronged with Atlantean couples taking photos of each other in front of the fountain. But not today, because today the square was a battleground. The Block Hill were waging open war with the LAP. By the looks of things, it was a one-sided battle. The guns were firing their soft-nosed weapons, but the plates were not shooting back. They just huddled behind whatever shelter they could find. Completely helpless. Foley's jaw dropped. This was disastrous, and he was being blamed for everything. Of course, the thing about stool pitchers was they could not be left alone to protest their innocence. He had to get a message to Holly, and fast, or they were all dead fairies.